to win. What have it been? Oh my God, y'all. Oh. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, let me fix this. I don't know who else is live. I don't know who else is live. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my hair tomorrow. I gotta work. Uh, hello, everyone. Oh shit! Now just dropped everything out of this freaking bag. Y'all, I didn't get my microphone together yet. And it's in my car. But I'm hoping tomorrow. Happy Sunday, Marilyn. Hi, Lakeisha. Girl, didn't that take a long time? I had to help her finish reading the book. Like, girl, hurry up. She got her little 20 minutes in, honey. She got her 20 minutes in tonight, but whoo-hoo. I was like, little girl, if you don't hurry up and finish this book. But anywho, y'all don't forget to watch the video on the Amazon. I'm doing a hammer. Girl. Amazon wig review. And I only paid $3 for all the wigs. So watch the video. And in the video, if you watch it, you're going to have a chance to win one of the wigs. I will send it to you for the free ski. I will send it to you for free. I might even throw 2 in the bag. Oh, go on, y'all. Oh. So how's everyone doing? What is going on? Who we going to talk about tonight? Because you know we're going to talk about somebody. Who y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about T.I. and 50 Cent, which is like... At this point, we all just waiting to see what 50 Cent going to do, which... He might not even do his revenge for another 2-3 years, but it's going to happen. I know it's been a lot of like AI videos that's really not him, because he'll post it on his own social media, which he's mostly like, I think, on Instagram. I'm not a big Instagram user. I don't know. I don't like Instagram. I really don't like Instagram like that. I don't know why, but I don't do Instagram too much. And then, y'all, these glasses. I don't do too much Instagram. And I'm trying to like Snapchat, but I don't like that either because I can never figure out how to post my videos. And then one time I had posted something that I didn't even know I had posted. I had posted on not Instagram, on Snapchat. You look down and you like, I'm used to like using this app or TikTok where it's not going to instantly like send your shit out. But on Snapchat, it does that. And I was just looking at it and didn't realize I had sent this really ridiculous picture out into the world. And I was yelling at my son about something. And he was like, ha ha, that's why you dropped that ridiculous picture on Snapchat. I'm like, what picture? He was like, and it didn't. The bad part is because I was messing with Snapchat, it sent out like 5 versions of the same ridiculous, ugly ass picture. And I was like, oh my God, show me how to get rid of it. Ah. So that's why I don't like Snapchat. But other than that, y'all, what we gonna talk about? What we gonna talk about? What we gonna talk about? And you know I'm down to talk about somebody. Who we gonna talk about? We ain't talking about our own business. We talking about the business of anybody who put their business on social media. And now we gonna talk about it if we feel like it. That's it. You put your business on social media and it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs. So it depends on what sector you're from and what you want to talk about. I forgot to promote that. Damn. Oh my God, y'all. Anywho, let's see what these is doing. Let's see what these are doing. Oh, I like these. These. What happened with T.I. and 50? I don't know. I think T.I. got in his feelings because 50 didn't want to do the verses. That's what it sounded like to me. And then T.I. went on Gilly's channel and was saying that 50 promised to do the verses and then he changed his mind. So petty and childish. But he was in his feelings about it. And then for whatever reason, 50 posted a unflattering picture of Tiny, and then that set off King to start talking crazy. And then Damani, the son, wrote a song. It's just been a mess. T.I. did a song. They all doing songs. This is all to promote T.I.'s new album, honestly. And it's working because it brought light to his album. Like these they'll do anything to promote their products because in the music industry they're not making money like they used to. You can literally just come on, social media and become a star. So they got to do whatever it takes to make money. Just like Cardi B, the whole breakup with her baby daddy, her baby dad, the baby, the little baby. Now look at her filling every seat in the stadium. So it just works out to have some type of fighting to get your name because everybody like a good fight. Everybody like a good fight. So if somebody is fighting, they're gonna get recognition for it. And that's that. I don't know if I feel like talking about the street sector. Anybody in here from the street sector? Y'all want me to get started on Marcus? Y'all want me to get started on Marcus's little ass? If you in here from the street sector, if you know about the street sector, I have not had time to put together another video, which I told y'all I'm going to be doing the Marcus. Y'all know that we got the Epstein files. In the street sector, we got the Marcu-Stein files. Or shall I call it? Well, I'm calling it Sisters with Voices. It'll be called Sisters with Voices. Hello, dear self. And so I'm going to be looking at the files, like the Epstein files, like, we getting bits and pieces of the Epstein files, and talking about how it all started as far as the exposure of Marcus being a pervert, and where it all started, because I understand there's a lot of new people in that sector now, new content creators, and so a lot of them don't know the backstory. They're hearing like bits and pieces from those of us who are like the OGs of the sector. But let me tell you something about that. Let me tell you something about that. So y'all can let me tell y'all something. The way the sector went down, like when we first started talking about Mucus, we call him Mucus, we call him the homeless Humper, we call him a pervert. This is all for entertainment value. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not here to bully nobody or make them feel bad about themselves. But, however, if you put your business on the internet and then somebody come along and talk about it, that's your business that you put out on the internet, and now we're going to talk about it. And so on the series that I'm going to call Sisters with Voices, not victims, voices. Go on, somebody. We're going to say they got voices because, some of them don't want to be, especially Sonny. Hey, Sonny. Sonny never wanted to be called a victim. And she told me that. And so I'm going to call it Sisters with Voices. And so their voices must be heard. And when you have somebody with a large platform such as that platform that's taking advantage of women in vulnerable positions in their life, I'm going to speak on it as a mental health professional. You know how many women that I work with in those same positions, and then they end up being taken advantage of by some skanky, perverted man. I would love to hear a story of a female who was down and out. Maybe, she's young. She comes from an unhealthy, dysfunctional family, and she just is looking for somebody to help her. I want to hear the story of a man who was willing to help a young female without her needing to do something sexual in order to get that help. I swear I never heard that story. I don't believe I've ever heard a story like that. Every story I ever hear is um, I'm 14 and this man is helping me and he's 27 years old. It's always something just effed up. It's never, let me help this young girl. Let me help her out because I'm a human and she's a human and I want to see her do better and I have resources and I can help her. Nah, it's how can I sleep with her? It's disgusting. That's why I stay on Mucus's little ass, because he is a man who has resources to help someone, but he chooses to F them instead and take advantage of them. He believes that he's done nothing wrong. There was a time when he did say, if you old enough, you'll remember this pastor, Jim, what's his name? Jim Baker. And Tammy Baker, his wife, found out that he was sleeping with the secretary at the church. He had a huge mega church for that time. I believe it was in the 80s. And once he got exposed for sleeping with the secretary, somebody at the church, he talking about I don't done bad. He was Southern. I did bad. I slept, like this whole thing. And it was like this big ass joke, right? But it really wasn't because he took advantage. He was in a position of power and took advantage of somebody. But everybody that is a voice in this whole saga with Mucus, that we are aware of, are adults, right? So there's no crime, literally no crime there. If you meet someone on the street and you say, I'm doing an interview, can I do an interview with you? And you give them $10 with his cheap ass for the interview, that's not a crime. That's a donation. Um, but and however, if you then turn the camera off and then ask them for a sexual favor and and they receive payment, or do they get a tip, is that prostitution? It depends on the state that you live in. It depends on the language that they use. And so you can get around being, buying a prostitute. You can get around that. And cried like that for us too about 2 years ago and still ain't changed. They don't change because they're perverted and their mind is perverted. They don't change. They don't change. Sexual predators don't change. I just saw, um, oh my God, I've been obsessed with watching like neighbors, like crazy neighbors and neighbors. I mean, they get into these arguments with their neighbor, and these people are, powing each other or whatever. So, in one episode, this neighbor, he was like 30, like 29 years old, decent looking man of Hispanic origin. And this young girl, like 13 or 14, noticed that he was following her on his bicycle. So, she told her mom and they could pick it up on their camera from the house. Anyway, this mother father, several days later, he came back to the house knocking on the door and they didn't answer the door. Several nights later, he came back to the house and her brother's room was on the ground floor. He had his window cracked. He went into the house. This grown man, he was looking for that girl. And the brother woke up and was like, "Get out of our house. Why are you in our house?" And he just looked at him like, damn, I thought this was a little girl room. Turns out he was he was a predator. He was a predator. And he was on Megan's list. He shouldn't have even been in that neighborhood. It was too many kids in that neighborhood for him to be living there. And so, although he had recently got out of prison, he was on the list, the whole nine. He had a probation officer. It still did not stop him from violating all of that to do whatever he was going to do with that little girl. And we all know it was going to be bad. That's to go live at a church is one. Girl, he had the audacity to bring that baby and act like the world was supposed to cheer him on for that shit. And act like the world was supposed to cheer him on for that shit. He is the type of perv that allegedly, because we don't have any real, this is my diagnosis and I've never met the man. I'm going by his behaviors, but oftentimes people who are deviant in that way, sexual deviants, they want to show off what they've done in like subliminal kind of ways. Like, I just had a baby with one of one of the voices. I just had a baby with her. I'm not a bad person. We had a baby together. Yeah, but you met her while she was on the street homeless with her other son, and she looked to you for help. You were supposed to help, not make the shit worse. And then when she got comfortable living in your apartment, you kicked her out because you met Yana. And then you kick Yana out because you start fucking with Sonny. And the list goes on and on. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. And I'm going to say this about if you weren't in the sector a couple of years ago when we first started exposing him, there was, I'm going to say about 5, 6 content creators that were talking about this. And let me tell you something. I said it behind the scenes. I said it on the scene. I said, Marcus is my focus. If these content creators want to beat the fuck out of each other, I don't care. It ain't my business. I'm not getting into it with none of these content creators. I've been in multiple sectors. I learned my lesson from my very first sector. I don't go back and forth with no content creator, especially if they sub number is lower than mine. I ain't fighting with you. I only fight with content creators who got more subs than I do, so I can clout chase off them. That's it. I'm only fighting with big content creators. And let me tell you something about big content creators. If they are fighting with me, they're never going to say my name. They're never going to say my name. But I'm going to say their name because I want everybody to know that's who I'm fighting with, because they got more sub count than me. And I'm going to clout chase off that shit. It's got to be some people who don't like them, and then I'll get those subs. That's how this works for me in my head. But I ain't fighting with nobody got 8,000 sub count, 5,000 sub count, and hell no. What I'm gonna do with them? How they gonna help me grow? Why I'm gonna get going back and forth with them for fucking years? That shit is stupid. That's the stupidest shit to me. I've been said, Cheryl, I've been said he was a predator. Even when people started being his friend, all them content creators that was talking shit about him, Marcus is a great manipulator. He can manipulate the draws off of a bitch, okay? And what he started to do was start showing up and he's a big channel. He's got 100,000 plus. He's a nice channel to fight with or to be friends with, however you get it. But the thing about him, nobody's ever grown off of his channel because he don't shout you out the way he should. If you out here fighting for him, and let me tell you, people who hated him start fighting for him and talking like Marcus, he a good dude. Marcus, he all right. Right, okay. Where before Marcus wasn't shit, now all of a sudden content creators are saying Marcus is a good dude. That was last year. That was when I was really like, oh, I'm done with this sector. I'ma still be on Marcus's ass when I feel like it. Thank you, Ralph. I'm gonna be on Marcus's ass when I feel like it. Even though you have the training and credentials to recognize predatory behavior, I wanted to believe he was genuinely helping people. He fooled everybody. He had me in the beginning when I first found him. It wasn't like I was like, oh, he's doing the best. No. I was like, oh, this will be interesting to see what's happening in Atlanta and that perspective. But when he started asking really sexually inappropriate questions to traumatize women, and I said to him in his comments multiple times, I know he read them, you are re-traumatizing these people. You need to go easy on asking them, follow-up questions. If they tell you they've been sexually traumatized and, maybe they go a little further with you, but you keep pushing it. And then to ask a girl, a woman, if she liked when her father sexually molested her. If I could have took this Stanley Cup and bop, him upside his head. He did that multiple times, even when people were telling him in his comments, that's wrong, don't do that. Just unbelievable. Ugh. Hook them up with a friend. I don't know about that, Nicole. I don't know about that. Did that recently happen? Yes. Yes. He had already tried to do corn, as y'all call it. He had already tried to do corn with another couple. Somebody left it in my, it was Lewis and Alana or something like that. I know her name started with the A. With the A. He had already tried that before. He had rented an Airbnb, but Lewis didn't know that he was also trying to hunch on the girl. The girl later told that story, and then the girl disappeared. Lewis, he had a channel. He was in Florida doing trying to do street interviews in Florida, but he had already used them up for all he could. Did he have a baby with another homeless woman? Yes. Her name was Yaya. But y'all stay tuned. All right, I'm going to tell you about Yaya real quick, y'all. Okay. So Yaya was about 20 years old, maybe about 20 years old. According to Yaya, Yaya is the first one that told us like details that we didn't have. Yaya reached out to a channel named Kiki Prime. She reached out to Kiki, and she told Kiki the details of what Marcus was doing. We got that from Yaya. And Yaya was living with him. Now, let me tell you how they met. Yaya was walking down the street, y'all. Walking down the street in Atlanta. Oh, not a fly. And she was staying with a friend or something. Anyway, she got put out. She got put out. And so when she met Marcus, she was just walking down the street. And Marcus, oh, can I get your story? That whole shit. Next thing you know, Yaya is living in his apartment. We used to call Yaya the closet Yaya, because he used to make Yaya. Y'all ready for this? If y'all new to Marcus, let me tell you what this little bitch used to do. Yaya would have to go in the closet, a walk-in closet. She would have to stay in the closet when his daughters came to visit. He shares custody. So when his daughters would come to visit, he would make Yaya sit in the closet. She can be in there for 2 hours. She can be in there for the whole motherfucking weekend. But that's what she was, in the closet. Well, eventually she got pregnant. And he convinced her to get Yana. I'm sorry. Yana, you right. Yana. I always get Yana. I get Yana and Yaya mixed up. You're right. Right, Yana. Thank you. And so Yana, because he used to call her Yana Bear. He used to call her Yana Bear. Yes, Yana Bear. So that's how we met Yana. But Yana is the one that told us, like, we knew something wasn't right. Okay. Before Yana was a lady named Monique. Monique is schizophrenic. I diagnosed her with that. But Monique is schizophrenic. She has schizophrenia. Monique, you would have to see Monique's before her illness really took over and she became homeless and all of that. She was a pretty woman, tall, slender. He liked him, he liked him a little dark. He liked him tall, slender. He ain't, that's all part of the perversion. It's like, they, look, they easily, mistreated and thrown away. is on the announcements. She got baptized. Wait a minute. Oh. That they were on a break. T has always been, y'all got me all over the place. Let me talk about Monique real quick, and then I'm going to get the T's ass. Monique. Monique was the first one that came and had a channel, and she told us that she had been mistreated by Marcus. Carissa, I'm all over the place, girl. I'm all over the place. I'm all. Thank you, though. Monique was the first one that told us in a video that she had been mistreated by Marcus. But you got to remember, at this point, most people still was good with him and cool with him, including myself. I'm still not making videos, but then Monique made the video, but Monique was very like disorientated. You know, she's schizophrenic, so part of what her story, you know, she was a little bit paranoid. And so it was like unbelievable, some parts of it. But then I reached out to Monique because I'm like, she telling the truth about something. Her and I didn't want to believe it. Remember, Cheryl, we didn't believe it because Monique was so out of it and she was off meds and her story was broken. Marcus, you know, he comes across as a you know, educated person who can articulate a story. And so a lot of people didn't believe Monique. They made Monique, this sector really contributed to Monique getting even sicker because people were really fucking with her. And because she was so unstable, it was difficult for her to accept like help when it was really help. It was just, she wasn't credible. She wasn't credible. And so it just, people brushed her away. But although she wasn't credible, she never went away from the story. The story was always the same. The story was always the same. How she met Marcus, how he brought her back to his apartment, how the whole thing. Marcus even admitted that he had brought Monique back to his apartment. Mind you, Monique was so disheveled, y'all. She looked like she was on the street. She looked horrible. She looked horrible. And she was paranoid schizophrenic. So she talking to herself. She not making sense. And this little midget brings her back to his apartment to take her down. Once that was confirmed, oh, it was on and popping for me. Like, I never looked back. Never looked back. There's content creators that was ripping him apart. Then all of a sudden, now they cool with him. And now they back to ripping him apart again. I ain't never wavered. Ever. Ever. Ever wavered. Marcus was always the focus. He will always be the focus whenever I come back into the street sector. You ain't never going to find no video of me talking about Marcus is the greatest thing. Ever. I've been standing on business about his ass since the very first video. He did. According to her, he gave her an edible and knocked her out. He said she stole it. He doesn't realize that when he told us what he did, because he thinks he's smarter than everyone else, he gonna tell us, the audience, that Monique stole an edible from him, which only verified and confirmed that you brought Monique to your apartment, you dirty bitch. That you brought Monique, who is schizophrenic, paranoid, possibly on drugs, back to your apartment. You just admitted that. The same apartment where you take your children. Come on now, y'all. Once he said that, he confirmed it. We knew then, oh, you are bringing these women back to your apartment. You dirty bitch. Could y'all tap the? Could y'all tap? If y'all want me to get into the next sister with voices, tap the screen while I let my voice. Let me y'all tap the screen. Tap the screen. Oh, now you can always go to my playlist. Tap the screen, y'all, so I can get into the next person. I don't even think I'm gonna make no long form videos going over this old shit again. I'll just come live, y'all. I'll just come live. And when I feel like talking about it, I'll just come live. But y'all tap the screen. There's 77 people in here, 43 likes. Could y'all tap the screen, honey? Whoo, that man's a little bitch. Mm, 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 mm. What a bitch. Thank you, Appalachian Girl. Woo! Bush people, please. I mean, we want to go on. We'd like to talk about our next sister with voices. Tap the screen, honey. Ooh. If you old school from the sector, you already know this. I'm really not doing this review for people who already. I need y'all too, because y'all help me to remember. But I'm really trying to reach the new people that I know that there are some new content creators who are talking about Marcus, and they're really just kind of finding out about the old shit, which to me, the old shit is relevant because when we in psychology, we look at behavior, right? And so we looking at behavior, we can't say, oh, this is what you're doing today doesn't matter what you did yesterday. Yes, the fuck it does. Because what you doing today is a reflection of what you did yesterday. So let me make it make sense to you. This little nigga has been doing this dumb shit for years. Exactly, Appalachian. We've been talking about this shit. Solid Sunny also said her essay, her. At the time, I didn't believe her, but now I'm beginning to think she may have been telling the truth. Okay. She said he attacked her from behind and assaulted her. Let me get into Sunny real quick. Hey, Sunny girl. Sunny was, I'm gonna say, Sunny wasn't really a victim in the way that I would put her. She's different than the other girls. Sunny is different than the other girls, and let me tell you why. First of all, she don't want to be called a victim. I respect that. Sunny was not homeless. Sunny was absolutely not homeless. She lived with her parents in a nice house. Sunny was not homeless, okay? Sunny reached out to Marcus because she saw he had a big channel and she wanted help building her channel. She wanted to come into the game and do content talking about, her life as a disabled mom, And so that was her plan. So she reaches out to Marcus. Marcus arranges to go and to meet her. She called him for an interview. Yes, he gets to her house. Right now, Sunny. Sunny initially was very soft. Right, soft spoken. Like she was putting on to Marcus and the audience, like I'm a disabled mom, and she was trying to come at it in that way. If you go back and look at the video, which I think Marcus doesn't have the video anymore up, um, Marcus began asking her about her sexual her ability to have sex. Hold on, y'all. Somebody done left me a whole letter. Let me say. I am starting to understand by your explanation. These are more likely new people who don't know how he rocks. Oh, absolutely. Same as West Indies. I can get to her too. All right, let me get back to Sunny. So anyway, so Sunny, she wanted to interview. She wanted to start her channel. She wanted help. Like, how do I do this? I want to blah, blah, blah. Mark is going to get his little ass over there and start looking at her in a sexual way. Mind you, Sunny, after her accident and all of her for her amputation, she amputated both of her legs, and one of her arms is not doesn't work. So she's, the accident and rocked her body. You know what I mean? So now she's dealing with that. She has two small children. She's, seeing this as a way to make money and, get her and her kids more independent from her parents, whatever. That, in my opinion, was why she reached out to this dirty dog. Big mistake. So he started playing on her top, like pretending like he was interested, but he was only interested in the content. He was interested in the content. Y'all got to go back. I don't know if he still has the videos up, y'all. If y'all new to this sector, this motherfucker, over a few weeks of time or whatever, he decides that he's basically playing his Sunny face and acting like he want to be in a relationship. He takes her, where y'all, say it in the comments because I can't remember. Where'd they go? Jamaica? He takes her on a vacation. Now, he didn't know the girl. He, according to Sunny, St. Croix, yes, thank you, Slam. He didn't know her. She didn't know him. If you know Sunny's history, Sunny was already in the sex industry. She was a dancer. So, at this point, she like, it's a play. Fuck it, right? I'm going to go. This cheap ass didn't, knowing this girl had limited income, he out there trying to make her pay for half the shit that they did. Anyway, y'all, we all watched that with horror. Because Sunny, we later found out, hey, Sunny, had a little bit of an alcohol problem. A little bit of an alcohol problem. So she turned the fuck up on. And she been turning up ever since. That's Sunny. That's the short version of Sunny. Because what happened was, this is an understatement. When I tell you I'm giving an understatement for Sunny, and what I've said to Marcus through my channel is one of these girls is going, yo ass. You is going to keep fucking around. Keep fucking around. Because if Sunny could have stood up, she would have upped him up. One of these, you gonna bring the wrong one back to that house, and your ass is gonna be done up. But Sunny, had it not been for Marcus, and if Sunny had linked up with a channel that really wanted to help her grow, although I believe, Sunny has her own issues and she would have, her own stuff. Had that been stable, you know what I mean? She could have grown her channel. Her channel grew. She got 25,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks. People wanted to hear her story, but Marcus fucked it up when he was attached to the story. Had Sunny not been attached to his raggedy ass, and if somebody would have genuinely helped her grow her channel for her story, Sunny would be at 100,000 right now. Sunny's channel was growing 1,000 subscribers a day. Yes, Shirley was. But Marcus broke her heart and she lost it. Sunny already had her issues. But then what really made the sector turn on Sunny, because initially, oh, it is, girl. Miss Marseille. Woo! Initially, Sunny was likable, but then she started showing the side of her of the trauma, the alcoholism, the possible drug use, her parenting. You know, she would be very inappropriate on the internet, and she would be live day in and day out and all night. It just it just went left. And of course Marcus was over it. He just wanted to have sex with somebody who was paralyzed. He just wanted to see if her coochie still got wet. Like that was his goal. So once that was over, and he was done. He was moving on. It was a done deal. If she had played her cards right, she would be a million subs by now. 100%. It was the child abuse that messed her up. 100%. And then people, and advocating that children and youth are called, and children and youth, went out to her house plenty of times. But like any other, if a children and youth worker, the goal is to get the family stable. And so that's what they attempted to do with Sunny. And then eventually Sunny she wanted to be like an advocate for Marcus, and she was on his side, and then she wasn't. Then she said Marcus raped her, and then Marcus freaked out, and then Sunny started going after other channels and just being this. She just ended up turning into like a bully herself, even though she had been bullied. I ain't gonna lie, she had been bullied. And next thing you know, all respect was lost. The viewers didn't want to watch her anymore. And she pretty much lost her channel. There was a strike team that took her channel down. Then they gave it back. Then um Appalachian, I don't watch Marcus now. So I don't know. I don't watch it. I don't know who these new people are. I mean, I've seen the content creators make videos about that other girl, but I really don't know. Like I really left watching. I don't watch him. And the only reason why I'm back talking about him because he popped up with that baby. And I know he got a lot of new viewers. And I was watching some of the new content creators, and they didn't seem to me like they knew the story. Yeah, they know the new stuff. And it's like, to me, some of the new content creators are like trying to put it together. They're trying to make it make sense. And I'm saying, you're on the right track, but know the history. He ain't doing nothing that he didn't do before. This baby survived the chop shop. That's it. This baby survived the chop shop. The other baby didn't. And let me tell you about Yana. She was devastated behind that. Yana was devastated that Marcus convinced her to have an abortion. She did not want to do that, and then sent her back to Chicago. But the story don't end there, y'all. Oh, Lord. Yana Bear and her big old grown ass self decided that the internet, that everybody in the sector was just jealous of her. And Marcus convinced her that he wanted to have a relationship with her again. Meanwhile, he was already smashing another interviewee named West Indies. I'll get into her in a minute. He convinces Yana Bear to come back to Atlanta. Girl, I ain't not telling the business. Whew. Yo, this is easier than making a long form video. Yeah, we're going to do it all tonight. He convinces Yana Bear to come back to Atlanta, and then he takes Yana Bear on a trip. Y'all, where they go? Because I can't remember. Was it Jamaica? He takes Yana Bear. Now, Yana Bear is tall, thin. She looked like she about 15, maybe 20. She was only about 20 something. I think it was Jamaica, Cheryl. Marcus trauma bonds with vulnerable women. He's not telling us anything about his own trauma, even though I already don't diagnose that. He just looks for vulnerable women that he could take advantage of, you know. Right, Cheryl. The girl could be a model. Okay. She's tall, she's thin, she's sample size. Okay. But she is flighty and as dippy as they come. She gets her ass and brings her ass to Jamaica with the Humper, and he in Jamaica flirting with everybody in that funky ass pool that they got. You know the pool they put all them bubbles in. They put all the bubbles in, y'all. Let me show y'all what the bubbles look like. Here go the bubbles, y'all. The pool is full of bubbles, and you got all these people in the bubbles fucking. They're in the bubbles. Everybody's pumping and touching each other in the bubbles. And you know Mucus love that shit. So he in the bubbles, she in the bubbles, and all of the things. So, and then once Mucus was done with her, he sent her little ass on back where she came from. And at one point, she was on the internet fighting everybody behind Mucus, telling everybody else how jealous they were because they didn't have Mucus and she and Mucus, you know, all that dumb young bullshit that she fell for being a young dingaling that she was. Sisters with voices. I only get mean with her because she told, you know, it's history behind that, but yeah, that's her. And others, did they like it? Oh, Sandra, once he did that, I was done. But I wasn't even done. I was done, but I went to him and I said to him, as a mental health professional, that's inappropriate. But I could see that he was getting off on it. Hiya, Billy. I could see that he was getting off on it because I've worked with women who have been traumatized in that way and essayed. And they talked about how people would ask them about their trauma and all of that, but then it seemed like they would keep asking them certain questions like they was getting off on it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of how he was. When I looked at, you know, like the cadence in his voice and how he was sad and the snicker on his face and just the facial expressions was like, oh, he liked that. He want to hear the details of the trauma because he's getting off on that. That's why he asked them, did you like? Literally, a woman has just told your dumb ass that her birth father sexually abused her throughout her childhood. This little bitch, him, looked her dead in the fucking eyes and said, "Hey, Hillbilly," and said to her, "Did you like it?" The girl was like, "No, he was my dad. He sexually violated me." He said, "Not even a little bit?" Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Those videos are probably unavailable because the people in the comment section went the fuck off on him. But it still didn't stop him. He didn't keep drilling it in that way, but he still said, "You didn't like it?" He wanted to hear them say, "Yeah, okay, I liked it." And then he was like, "Oh." So, of course, with him having daughters, the bell in my head is like, what? Would you ask your daughters that? If your daughter came home and said, "Dad, I was on my way home from school, somebody dragged me in the bushes and they ripped my clothes and they took me back and they was would you say to your daughter, did you did you like it? Even a little bit? Did you like it?" Because that's somebody's daughter, bitch. Could y'all tap the screen? Because YouTube ain't gonna pay me for this video because I've been cussing too much. Could y'all at least tap? Could y'all tap? Yeah, he did. Who in their right mind would say that to anybody? Did you like it? This is why police departments had to be retrained by, psychologists and clinicians. We still have to we still got to go and retrain police officers, detectives on the appropriate way to ask a victim questions. Because they were asking victims questions in stupid ass ways like that and re victimizing them. Well, why were you walking down that dark street by yourself? Why were you wearing those types of clothes? Well, why did you invite him back to your apartment if you had kissed him outside the door? Stupid shit. No, bitch. What happened? What happened? What happened? And that's that. For years now, because of sexual assault, etc., he gotta be a trigger for. So he is. He is a trigger. People were saying that to him, even in his lives, when people were asking this nincompoop, telling him stop victimizing people, stop asking them if they liked it when they were essayed, stop it. He never stopped. He can't stop because his mind is perverted. That's why he can't stop. Because he's perverted. Allegedly, and this is my opinion, and this is for entertainment and educational purposes only, not to bully. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I was done with this sector, but I will come back only to talk about his little ass. I'm not getting down with no other content creator. I know y'all been telling me go over there and go to this one and go. I ain't doing none of it. I see them, and I might even be in the bushes just to get an update on what's going on. But I don't link up and click up. I don't. I do not. He's sick and his own way of thinking. If the essay felt good, he's disgusting. When my biological father was essaying me, oh shit, unbelievable, unbelievable. That's what they do. When I lecture about essay and what that looks like, the process of that, that they will violate openly. They will violate openly, meaning like, I'm going to I'm going to finger you under the covers and your mommy is sitting right there, but I'm going to still do this to you openly as a way of like, she ain't going to save you. And I'm going to do what I want to do to you right here in front of her in plain sight. And that's why your dad did that. Because it's like, I know you here, but I'm going to still violate you. It's a way of saying I'm showing my victim that I can still violate you and nobody gonna save you, and I'm gonna do it right here in the open around people that's supposed to help you. And that's what they do. And that's what he does. Like, it's coming on the internet and exposing and saying and like, yeah, I did it. And that's he said it. There's still videos. He might have put his videos on private, but there are plenty of videos out there of him admitting to what he's done. And in his mind, he's done nothing wrong because they're adults. I'm not out here trying to hunch on kids. These are adults. Unbelievable. That's why I go in on him. That's why I go in on him. Because these women, at that point when he finds them on the street, thank y'all for hitting the like button. By the time he finds them on the street, the majority of them have been already traumatized. Childhood trauma, all that shit. They've already been through that. Even we go back to Sunny, although Sunny lives with her family, that is her adoptive family. So she has trauma, childhood trauma herself, and things that she's gone through in her life. And wanting to come to the internet to see it as an out to better her family, and all he could see was somebody he could victimize, is disgusting. And that's why I had to take even the testifying. I mean, it took years, to get the courts to agree not to have victims, especially children, testify in the courtroom and face their accuser. That in a lot of cases, that trauma of telling that story and telling that, you know, piece by piece about what happened is re-traumatizing. I mean, of course, we got to hear the story. We got to know what happened in order to prosecute, but it's got to be done in a way that you're not going to break that child down to like to nothing. Like, break them down to nothing. It just goes so much deeper than just taking advantage. You see, a girl on the street, and even for Mucus, he ain't the only one. God knows he's not. You know, find me a man who has helped a young girl without offering, wanting her body in exchange for giving you somewhere to sleep. What he did to Tone, it was beyond egregious. He doesn't like Tone. Marcus does not like Tone. You know why? Because Tone would call him on his shit. Tone would tell him no. Tone would say, no, I don't want to film. No, you can't have an interview with my girlfriend. No. And he don't like that. He don't really like none of them. Marcus is, and this ain't no, listen, Marcus is Caribbean. We black folks know how, the Africans, they different. American blacks, We do what we do, and then you got your Caribbean blacks. They got their own. That's why people like tripping over Nicki Minaj and what she's doing with Donald Trump. Nicki is not American. Nicki did not grow up understanding the struggles that we have as black Americans. So that's part of the reason why she's such an asshole. But Marcus is Caribbean, also raised, and all of that. So oftentimes they look at Americans like we are lazy bums. And so Marcus has that attitude like these people is all fucking lazy, fucking no good ass bums. That's how he sees it. He sees Tone as a fucking bum. He don't have no respect for him. He don't give a fuck about whatever his family history is, whatever he got going on with his mental illness. He could give, hey, girl, we got a celebrity. We got a celebrity in here. We got a celebrity, honey. Y'all say hi to Solid Sunny. We got a celebrity. Y'all better say hi to Solid Sunny. Sunny, am I telling the story right? Am I telling the story right? Am I telling it right? Hey, world. But that's it for Tone. He don't have respect for Tone. He don't. He don't have any respect for Tone because that's how a lot of, I'm not going to say all Caribbeans, but a lot of Caribbeans, they look at us like y'all have all these opportunities and y'all be over here fucking them up. That's how Marcus thinks. Like he look at Tone like a fucking bum. He don't give a fuck about him. Right? That's why he talk crazy to him. But he's gonna run up on the wrong motherfucker. And even though he carry his little pistol with him, somebody gonna grab it right out of his hand and shoot him right in his pinky toe. So I don't know. Thank y'all for speaking to Sunny, because Sunny ain't no victim. Don't you ever in your life call her that. She's a sister with voices. She got a voice. But that's what that's all about. That's what that's all about with Marcus. He just sees them all as bums. Like y'all could be doing better. Y'all don't want to do better. Fuck y'all. Just like that guy that he had doing the corn. He don't give a damn about that man. The one that was doing the corn. And y'all and the people said his booty was all chewed up and looked nasty and ridiculous and traumatized everybody who saw that shit. She ain't no victim. She's a survivor. A survivor. But he don't care about him. He don't care about that man. He don't care about that man. That ain't nothing but content. It's all content. It's all content. And I know like now people are like, oh, like they want to report him. He ain't, there's no laws being broken. Unless you're going to get him for a prostitution. It ain't even, for me, it ain't even about that. If people want to try to do that, then they could try to do that. I really don't give a damn about trying to get him to go, in prison and all. He's going to end up getting his just by the people that he's fucking over. The audacity to think you was going to be doing corn, because y'all told me to say corn, and then bring it back to on your channel, your legit YouTube channel, and you telling people to go watch you doing corn. Yes, she don't. And you told me that, Sonny. You told me that. You told me that. You did. You did. You told me that. Because really, if like I said earlier in the what I said earlier in this live is that really you weren't in this instance when we're talking about Mucus and how you met him. You weren't a victim because you have a home. You didn't reach out to him because you was down bad. So you weren't a victim in that way. You were not a victim. And as I talk about Yana and, West Indies, them literally being homeless and needing help in that way, and being taken advantage of by Mucus. That was the difference that I didn't see that. Maybe I didn't know like your history. I didn't know that you had a home and you weren't in a homeless situation the way those ladies were. I didn't even get on West Indies, y'all. Y'all gotta know how he did this young lady. And West Indies was kind of in the same way. Oh, I'm very blessed, honey. Thank you. Believing you can. West Indies was, I think she was in a shelter. If y'all don't know her story, she has her own channel. Y'all can go over there and look at her channel. She don't talk about Marcus. She's done a couple of like follow-up videos only because Marcus, um, he harasses her. Marcus harasses West Indies. West Indies, real quick, was a young lady. She was at the in Atlanta where he gets his interview. She was over there. I think she was applying for housing and food stamps or something. And so he stands out in that next to that building, and West Indies is an attractive young sister. You know, she's also from the sex industry. I think she used to do OnlyFans. She did porn. Um, so she had her hissy, but she wants to go. She wanted to go legit. She's raising two young kids. She's had jobs. She was trying. So, Midget, he presents himself pretty well. You see him, he ain't no ugly man. I ain't never said the little man was ugly. He just little. That's all. And so, he approaches West Indies, whatever. She's probably thinking once he start asking nasty questions and stuff, she's probably thinking, all right, well, fuck it. He can be a little quick little play, whatever. So she thinking, we gonna be cool like that. I'm gonna get what I get. He gonna get what he get. Well, that shit went left. I can't remember what had happened, but they end up being enemies. I forgot what happened. Oh, I think. Oh shit! I just remembered. West Indy said Mucus gave her a STD. I wish I had a bell. Bing. West Indies told us that she believed Mucus gave her an STD, and baby, she brought her STD pills onto Beyonce's internet and let us watch her take it. Yes, she did. He was very handsome, short but handsome. He claims to be 5'8". On his police records. Damn, 5'2". Damn, he's shorter than what I thought. So anyway, West Indies showed us her. She showed us her prescription. She said she was burning, honey. After she had did it to Marcus a couple of times, and she said she wasn't really doing it to nobody else, so it only could have came from one person. Allegedly, y'all remember this is for entertainment purposes only. Everything is alleged, even my name. She said that the only person that she was hunching on in the time that which she could have got that STD was when she was hunching on Marcus. And so she showed us the pills, honey. She took the pills right in front of us and we gagged. Well, after that, Mucus was pissed. And Mucus told her, you better recant that and say that that was a lie, bazi ba. And she was just like, I ain't saying shit is a lie. You are the one who burned me. Well, baby, next thing I know, they enemies, right? So, okay. West Indies going about her life. She on the internet. She don't turn into a straight beggar. We feeling sorry for her. I don't send her a little five. I'm cheap. I don't send her $5 here, $10 there. Her rent is due. Her babies need food. Her car need a new motor. She was beat. She was just begging. She's a begging ass. But she also was putting out her content. She was putting out decent content. She was trying to make a move. You know what I mean? This is why I say Marcus don't help no fucking body. He never, y'all go check out West Indies channel, blah, blah, blah. He don't do that because he don't give a fuck about nobody else but himself. Allegedly. This is for entertainment purposes only. So West Indies, after she told us that Marcus burned her, she was at the bus stop with her kids because she had a car, but the engine blew. I think she had a Mercedes or something ridiculous. You know how people. Anyway, that's another story. So she's at the bus stop of minding her business. Her and her two kids. She got like, let's say, a 9 and a 3-year-old. They at the bus stop. You know, Marcus gonna pull up to her. She recorded it, honey. It's on her channel. Marcus pulls up to her at the bus stop and getting all up in this girl's face, talking about you a liar, why you tell people that, all this fuck shit. She was scared. She was scared because she don't have nobody to call. That's the thing about her too. She don't have nobody to like look out for her. She don't have no brothers in Atlanta, none of that shit. So she don't have nobody, and he knew that. So he's been harassing her. What happened? Who burned an answer sitting at the bus stop? West Indies. You don't know West Indies is another sister with voices. Yes, West Indies. He started messing with West Indies. She was a interviewer. He interviewed her, and right after so where are you from? Mute the camera. You like dick. When's the last time? You know, how are you homeless? Mute. You suck dick. What where you from? Where you got a fat, meanwhile he looking at her titties because West Indies love to tell us about her implants, child. She got implants, she got butt implants, she got titties, all kinds of shit going on. Child, she pregnant again. Yes, she is, child. Yeah, West Indies pregnant again. Isn't she by another dude now? Don't nobody claim her for long. Just leave it at that. She pregnant again. Do she need to be pregnant again? No. Can she pay her bills now with 2 kids? Absolutely not. Should she be pregnant and having another baby? Hell no. Is she having it anyway? Yes, she is. She don't talk about Marcus. She don't talk about Marcus. She didn't talk about Marcus enough for me, and I told her you should have been running that up. Run that shit up. You know what I'm saying? When you come from that industry, the sex industry, you really learn how to shut up. You don't be, you know what I mean. She could have went into deeper details. She really could, and really started telling us more of his business. But she didn't. Because she done been in the apartment too. Because one time he had took her to the apartment on the roof. Because that's when he really think he doing his big one. If you get to go up on the rooftop of the apartment. I don't think he lived there no more. Somebody told me he don't live in that apartment building anymore. But if you get to go to the rooftop, that's what he think he's really doing his big one with you. I'm over there doing laundry and crazy. No, girl, I got to go get this load out myself because I got one more load to fold. But y'all, we're going to have to continue because I'm losing my voice. Clap it up for Sunny. She came in. Girl, we done been through it with that Marcus. I feel like I've been through it. I'm going to leave y'all. Oh, girl, the rooftop. I told y'all about the rooftop at my next live because we doing the series Sisters with Voices. These are not the Epstein files. What should I name it, y'all? The Marcus files, the Humper files, the homeless Humper files, the street sector files. We're going to do it live. I ain't even going to come. I ain't going to hold y'all. Ooh, y'all. Don't forget to watch my video. I'll probably upload it tomorrow. It is an Amazon wig haul, but I only paid $3 for all the wigs. And then watch the video. You got to do something. Atlanta Files. Okay. But I want to put Steen in it, like Epstein. You know, the Epstein files, but we're going to figure it out. You can win a wig, but you got to watch the video and then you figure it out. And if you want this particular wig, I will send it to you for free. When I get that wig video up. The fuck? When I get the wig video up. But we're going to call this part 1 of the Mucus Files. He is a creep. He exploits everybody. But he goes further. Because some people will say, like, people who do street interviews are exploiting homeless people. And a lot of people, not a lot, but people don't really particularly like that. It's one thing to do street interviews. The Mucus File, that's a good one. It's one thing to do the street interviews. You do your interviews, you pay them for the video, and you walk the fuck away. This dirty ass does the interviews, hits the mute button, and then start asking people how much to hump. You know what I mean? That's the difference. I don't even fuck with soft white underbelly no more. Because it was always like rumors that he was messing with some of them women down on Skid Row. But then when you actually admit to that shit and bring this woman back, he a whole nother story. We'll get to him. I could talk about him in part 2 of the Mucus Files. But we're going to stick to Mucus. Mark Later is a creepy, stank, ugly. You know that woman that was found dead in her apartment. I can't even get on him. He's a creep. He's a creep. He is a creep. And that probably was not the first woman that he had took back to his home. That's a whole nother part. It's been plenty of channels talking about that. Lord have mercy. I can't with these men's. It's these men's. It's these men's. You got to be so careful if you a young woman and you looking for real help. You need assistance. And name a man who would do that without asking for something. I mean, I can tell you about men in my family. They would never. But what we've seen on this internet, it didn't have to look like that for Marcus. He's a creep. He's one of the men that buy prostitutes. Literally just buy prostitutes. You know? And he's doing it out loud on his channel. And making it look like it's okay. He's dirty. He claims she overdosed, but we do not know that to be true. Absolutely don't. And you think the police ever investigated? No. No. He's 70 fucking years old and laying up with a 21-year-old. Y'all, we talking about Mark from Soft White Underbelly. That girl was 21 years old with a baby, a little boy 3 years old, who's probably in foster care. He loved her so much. Why you ain't raising her fucking son, you dirty bitch? Government has a cyber task force and will build a case on you by what you put out. Okay. He knows just enough not to be doing anything illegal. He was 64, 65, and she was in her early 20s. Something like that. Yes. Yes. He even said that he would ask her, why do you want to be with me? I'm so old. For your money, you dumbass. Why the hell do you think she want to be with you? For your fucking looks, you monster? Ooh, y'all. Ain't no motherfucking way I could have looked at his creepy ass face and looked that I would eat dirt before I would have laid up and let this ooh ugly ass, big ass, long ass, tall ass, funky ass, bitch ass. Ooh, Lord, I don't know how that girl did it. I would eat pussy before I looked at him, and I don't eat no pussy. And I would eat pussy before I looked at his ugly ass. Whew, Lord, child. And he done went right on about his channel, right on about his life. And he probably done got another one of them young girls living in the street. Now, this girl, her story was so fucked up. Childhood trauma up your ass. Her mama was a prostitute, on drugs, all of that. Hey, accordingly. And you gonna take her home and want to build a family with her. This girl is so traumatized and so unbelievable. They do it for survival, and that's the set. Of course. Who else is gonna lay up with a linky, old, shriveled up white man who looked like a monster all upside his face? And the girl was 21, she was cute. And he wasn't over there playing patty cake with her ass. If you wanted to help her feed her, bitch, send her to trade school. Help her to educate herself so she could take care of her son, you dirty bitch. She was beautiful, but she laying up with this skeleton. And he gonna ask her, why you wanna be with me? I'm old. For your money, you dumb bitch. You paying for you. I got a free apartment, and all I gotta do is with you. This world is so fucked up. So fucked up. Mark told us himself, but the bad part is he told us as if we was gonna feel sorry for him that he lost his long-term girlfriend. Girl, the video I did on him, I mean, I ripped him from the rooter to the motherfucking tutor. I ripped his ass from the rooter to the tutor. And anybody who said he was a great person, I ripped them too. You dirty bitch. Ever down like that. But when I in survival, you do the crazy shit. I get that. They're doing it for survival. 100%. He had the nerve to be crying. Girl, what I said to him in his comment section, he probably immediately deleted it. No, I don't give a F about your fake ass tears, you fucking creepy ass weirdo. The case needs to be reopened. Talk about when he went over there, she was in the tub and she had drowned. I didn't even know she was back on drugs. I heard from a few of her friends that she had been using drugs. Let me tell you something. You didn't know she was back. This would be me if I was in Mark's face. This would be me. This would be his face. You didn't know she was back on drugs when you're around drug addicts interviewing them every fucking day and you didn't know that she was back on drugs. You're a fucking liar. Oh, I got a headache. Right. She drowned. She drowned. She drowned. Son! What time is it, y'all? Hey, Google. What time is it?
It's 9:29 p.m.
That's it. Anyway, y'all, I gotta go. I got a headache now because Mark triggers me. 9:30. Thank you. And back in my mind, I believe that probably it was weird ass. This man done been around drug addicts all this time doing interviews. He wouldn't notice that she was on drugs. You give her money, she can't find it. She's not now. If she's not now, that means she's on opiates or heroin, and you're going to nod out. So when you came over there to bring your creepy ass over there to hunt her, she was nodding out on you. You knew she was back on drugs. If she, yo, it was nice. We're going to finish our Marcus Mucus story maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple days. Bye.